Hello everybody, welcome back to CC at Sea. Today we are covering day 3 on board the Carnival Venezia that set sail on January 14th, 2024. So day 3 was another sea day, and it's continuing to get warmer and warmer the closer we get down to Miami, which was our first port of call, which will be on day 4, which will come out next week. And it's continuing to get warmer and warmer, so we decided to explore some of the upper decks. And we participated in a dodgeball tournament, which was pretty cool. I hadn't played dodgeball in a while. Didn't end up winning on the side that I was on, at least, but it was still super fun nonetheless. Everybody got together, and it was a little chilly out, especially with the wind whipping on the top deck, but it was pretty cool. It just kind of depended on what side you're on as to who has the advantage, though, sometimes because the wind pushes the balls forward if you're on the right side, basically. So you have like a little extra oomph in your throws if you're facing the right direction, basically. So yeah, but it was interesting. It was super fun to get to play dodgeball on the top deck. So we did that. We also signed up for the Family Feud game show because I had watched that on the other cruise that I had went on, and so I saw like sign up sheets to where you could participate in it. So I went ahead and signed us up, and we waited in line for it and got up to the front, and the lady said that we have to have families of 5. So it was only just the 2 of us, so we had to go on a search for 3 more family members. So there was actually a couple right behind us. Shout out to Tony and Carol. They definitely were game, and they had the same predicament that we had. It was just 2 of them, and we needed a family of 5. So immediate, easy, super nice family there. Shout out to you, Tony and Carol. It was so great to get to meet you guys and to go through this whole little experience with you. So we now have 4 members of our team, and we're on the search for that one final person to complete the team, to bring us all together. So I'm standing there like, okay, happy, like we went ahead and got the first couple people, and now we're on the search for one sole person. So I'm just like kind of just standing there looking around, and then all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I get a glimpse of this gorgeous lady just across the way. She's sitting there with a drink by the window, and she's just gorgeous. And I'm like, oh wow, like she's just sitting there by herself. Let me go over and check on her. And so I walked right on over to her, asked her if she liked Family Feud and if she'd like to be our 5th family member to complete our team. And shout out to you, Nina. It was an amazing connection, and I'm so happy that we got to meet you. And shout out to Nina and your husband, Mike. We became lasting friends after this little encounter, and it was super cool. She wasn't actually by herself. Her husband was there. He just had walked off for a minute, and then he comes back and realizes there's 4 more members of the family now. So now we're all a team, and we could go back up to the front, and we have our family all together. So we're all on point. Oh, there's a photo shoot that we had to take as a family, just to show our personality so that they could pick out which ones could move on to the next phase right before getting chose to actually be on the show. So we did our little photo shoot, took our pictures together, let our personality shine, and it was super cool. It was so fun. We all had a great time and just connected and meshed super well together. So we took our little pictures, and then the next phase was we have to do a practice run. We have to come up with a captain of our team, which everybody voted me as the captain. So I got to be the captain, which meant that I had to go on stage versus another family and their team captain. So it was basically just a captain v captain, like one-on-one. And they asked us a question on stage, and this was in front of some people. People like watched it, and they asked us a question. So we went back up to the lady with our now completed team of 5, and she said that we had to come up with a team name. So we sat there for a second and was talking to each other, and Tony and Carol actually from Canada. And so were a bunch of people that I met on board on that cruise. There was a bunch of people from Canada that I noticed. And then, we're Americans. So we came up with the name Can-Ams, Canadian Americans. So I thought it was pretty clever. So that was our team name, and then moves on to the next phase of the competition, which is where we chose our team leaders. The team decided that I was going to be the team leader, so I got to be the one that moved on to the next phase against the captain of another family, and we got one question that we had to answer. The question was, what's the most popular food in America? So I was the first to buzz in, and my answer was pizza. And the other person then got to answer, and they answered hamburgers. Well, drum roll, please. The correct answer was hamburgers. So I let my team down, and we didn't get to go past that round. We didn't get to be one of the families on board the actual show that they did, but it was still a super fun experience. And, I had my whole team over there, like rooting me on and, there to support me and everything. So I choked up. I said pizza. And then after he said hamburger, I was like, ooh, okay, that's a really good answer too. So yeah, sure enough, the most popular food in America, according to that specific survey, is hamburgers. So I could get with that. I love me a good juicy hamburger. Speaking of burgers, we've continued to have our guys' burgers every single day on the boat because they're that great. So it was always nice getting to wake up and at some point knowing we're gonna have us a guy's burger that day. So that was super cool too. But it was amazing getting to have that experience and to create the friendships with Tony, Carol, and Nina. It was so awesome. Oh, and Nina's husband Mike, all of us, like we ran into each other throughout the duration of the rest of the cruise, and it was just nice catching up here and there, like, oh, what'd you do in this port, like how you doing, and what you got going on back home, when you get back. And so, and we've kept in contact, so it's really awesome to have created one of those lasting connections. And that's like really what the spirit, I feel like, of the cruising is really all about: just getting out, having the time of your life, letting your worries free. We also checked out the club that night for the first time, and so that was pretty nice, getting to meet a couple new friends in there and check out the vibe of the club. It was pretty sweet. Of course, the vibe is all nice and hype in there. Everybody's dancing around. Everybody's, just talking and mingling, and, everybody's super approachable, and it was an amazing time getting to hang out at the club. That's not usually like my scene really all the time, but I definitely love to get out and dance the night away, and that's definitely what I did. I think from that night on out, basically, I was pretty much at the club every night because I had a few friends that knew that I would run into there, and so we'll carry on more with those friends that we kept running into later on in the series. But that's where I got to meet a couple of the like really good friends that I ended up making on the cruise. So shout out to everybody on board the Carnival Venezia. That was an amazing trip, and I had such fun. Even if I can't remember your name or whatever, like, it was fun dancing with you and seeing everybody's like just vibe and just being happy and being on vacation together. It was all a great time. Thanks so much for tuning in to CC at Sea. Stay tuned next week for day 4 on board the Carnival Venezia, our first port of call, Miami, Florida. Have a great week. Bye.